What's up, y'all boys? You already know I gotta get my fix real quick. Got that coffee. If I don't have that coffee, I'm a grumpy old man. We're gonna slide to Sheldon's crib right now. I'm gonna go work on his whip for a little bit. Trying to finish up. I'll give you the updates kind of when we get there to see what we're working on and what we can complete today. Man, my car, I haven't been doing much to my car because honestly I've been chilling with getting the motor completed from the machine shop. So once I have the motor finished up with the machine shop, and I give it to the engine builder who's going to assist me putting the long block together, then I can kind of update like as far as the car and what I'm doing and when I'm going to install it, stuff like that. So building a 2JZ, man, they ain't cheap. And I didn't do the block, you know, the block is stock. I got the blocks, you know, hot tanked, and the crankshaft polished, and the pistons and rods I got it hot tanked too. So I didn't do pistons and rods or anything. I got the head built. I'm pretty much trying to keep it built head, stock bottom end, and then just kind of refresh everything, put new parts. But building a 2JZ, man, it ain't no joke, I'll tell you that much. So, but anyway, that's like on my car. I haven't really been, you know, posting much on it. I mean, there's two things I can do on the car. I could wire the air ride system, kind of get that going. I can also do the brake lines, which I got to do the brake lines first before I go ahead and install the motor. I just haven't bought the material yet, so I've been kind of chilling. Once I get the motor back, and then you know, I'll get to the car. But for now, we've been focusing on Sheldon's whip, trying to finish that up, because he's pretty much doing the same thing. So we're just trying to get both cars kind of leveled up at the same time, man, because we can't wait to get these boys on these streets. Yo, for all y'all LS boys who watch this, man, like my daily's the LS 400. Tell me how this is probably one of the best rides, like, that you can drive and just be cruising. Like, this is probably one of the best cars, hands down. I mean, this is my second favorite car. The GS is my favorite one, but the LS 400, LS 430, LS 400 first, but LS 430 is also one of my favorites. But LS 400, man, if you have one of these cars, I mean, these cars literally can last forever. On my LS 400, I made sure I maintained the car as far as the motor. I got the motor serviced. I got everything done so this car can basically give me no problems. And I'm telling you, like, this car is probably one of the best cars. Now, you know what would be better? If I was able to lower this thing. But I ain't trying to get on that anytime soon. I'm trying to focus on the GS, and then once the GS is done, maybe I'll think about the LS 400. But for now, we'll just focus on the GS. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just head to Sheldon's crib, because right now I'm behind somebody who's been driving only 25 miles an hour on the highway, and I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on? But all right, let's go slide to Sheldon's crib. So we back at Sheldon's crib, and we got a nice project for today. We're gonna be focusing on the front end of the car, but I want to do a quick recap of the rear so you guys can take a look at it. Last thing we did was installing all the e-brake cables, and I think I posted like all the suspension, but I'll let you guys take a look at it again, and then I'll let you guys take a look at the front end project that we're gonna be working on. All right, so this is the rear suspension. So we got everything installed. Air strut, serialnine arms, traction and tow arms, and then we ended up finishing up with the e-brakes. This car is coming out sick. Everything's coming out together. All the colors are starting to get together. So that is the rear. Let me go ahead and show you guys what we got in store for today, and that is working on the front. So pretty much he's got these are the OE caster arms. He ended up getting them powder coated, and then he purchased the bushings to swap those out, the polyurethane ones. And then these knuckles right here, low down wheels knuckles. So shout out to Will out there. Knuckles are looking really nice. I forgot the specs on them. I want to say it's about like a 35 or 40 millimeter cut. There's no camber to it. There's just like a natural cut, but he does good quality work. And then we got the roll center adjusters to go underneath the knuckles. He's got the serialnine upper control arms. And then we're gonna do a little bit of OEM upgrades, change out the boots on the steering rack, the clamps on the steering rack, and then he has the air struts for the front, the airlift one. So that's gonna be the project for today. Let me go ahead and show you guys how the front's kind of looking at. Obviously everything's pretty much empty. He did do a nice undercoating underneath of the aprons to make it look clean, and everything, all the suspension is gonna pop out once everything's installed, so it's gonna look really nice. And then he went ahead and installed also the subframe that he got powder coated to match the rear subframe. This is also a shortened subframe too. I want to say it's about a 20-25 millimeter cut, so it's gonna raise the motor up about 20-25 millimeters from the same guy that did my front short subframe. So this car is gonna look sick. All right, well, we got a full day ahead of us, so let's get to work. See from the time lapse, we installed the passenger side. Just kind of break it down for you guys here. The upper control arm from serialnine we installed, as well as the airlift struts. These are the low down wheels knuckles, and then these are OEM caster arms. And then you put the polyurethane bushings on. You got the serialnine RCAs. Everything's coming out really nice. Couple concerns that we ran into was the bag and the upper control arm. I had to put some positive camber onto the upper control arm because the bag and is touching the upper control arm, but I think it's because of the knuckle, and well, the bag itself, you know, they're the double bellows, but they're not skinny ones. So we thought about possibly just putting on the top hat, getting a top hat for the car, and as well as, while we're at it, if hopefully we can go ahead and get the outer tie rods, that'll be a nice touch to it too. Then the main thing would only be the lower control arm, if he wants to do that down the road, and the sway bar link. Well, the sway bar we could probably get from Figs. I believe they have an adjustable one. And then the sway bar itself, we can go ahead and get that powder coated. That'll be nice to kind of just tie everything together. So yeah, it's coming out really nice. Now we're just gonna go ahead and do the driver's side, and we'll wrap this up. All right, y'all boys, so we wrapped up the driver's side. This side obviously was a lot easier because we, you know, fixed all the little boo-boos on the first one doing the passenger side. It's always fun doing suspension, man. Like, I don't know, just seeing everything put together is like, you can make everything so much better little by little. It's a progress, you know, and you know, he's doing all the right things. So like, to me, this is gonna be a sick ass build. So like I said before, top hat, we're gonna get a new stabilizer link, the outer tie rod as well. Once we get all those three, the front end is gonna be super solid and everything's gonna clear. And then that's pretty much it. We'll do the brakes and calipers later on. And then obviously the main thing is slapping that motor, but we'll talk about that later on. I think this is it for this video. Appreciate y'all watching. We're just out here trying to build some nice cars. GS gang. Peace.